Dating is something we all have experienced at certain points in our lives. Apps, dating shows, or the classic being set up on a blind date is something we've all seen or actually experienced ourselves in real time. While dating can be fun, exciting, and even a little scary at times, given meeting a total stranger has the potential risk or something terrible going wrong, or our date turning out to be a creep. Some dates can be even worse. Sexual assaults and murder have been the center of some dating apps' horror stories, or women going missing after meeting with a strange man. Today's show is filled with a classic TV show, a string of brutal murders, and a photography collection that would help investigators solve a string of murders. The dating game killer, Rodney Alcala. Rodney Alcala was born Rodriguez Jacques Alcala Bucor in San Antonio, Texas in 1951. Rodney's father moved the family to Mexico only to abandon them 3 years later. By the time he was 11 years old, his mother moved him and his two sisters to the suburban Los Angeles. At the age of 17, he joined the United States Army and served as a clerk. However, it didn't last. In 3 short years after joining what was described as a breakdown, he went AWOL and hitchhiked to his mother's home from Fort Bragg. It was later revealed he was diagnosed with antisocial personality disorder by a military psychiatrist and discharged on medical grounds. Various psychiatric experts at his trial said he suffered from other conditions such as narcissistic personality disorder, borderline personality disorder, and a number of others. After leaving the Army, Rodney took another path in his life when he graduated from UCLA School of Fine Arts and later film under Rodney Polanski at New York University. But it wouldn't be long before he found himself at the start of a long crime that would venture down a path from rape to murder. Although it's unsure if it was his first crime, his first known crime occurred in 1968 when he was caught by the police raping an 8-year-old girl he had lured into his apartment. When she was found, she had been raped and beaten with a steel bar. Many believe her life was only spared due to a number of calls about a suspicious man made to LAPD, which resulted in the police breaking into his home and stopping him from killing her. However, he was able to escape and went on the run from police. Fleeing to New York after escaping, he was put on the FBI's most wanted list in 1969 in New York. Rodney's crimes would take a much darker turn, though, from molestation to cold-blooded murder. His first victim was 23-year-old Cornelia Crilly, whose body was discovered in her New York apartment. She was nude and had been naked, bound, and strangled with a nylon stocking, with something stuck in her mouth to stop her from screaming. Another thing investigators noticed was her breast also had a bite mark in it. Not long after her murder, Rodney moved to New Hampshire under the name John Berger, lying low and working as a camp counselor until he was recognized due to his face being on the FBI's most wanted list. Once he was arrested, sadly he was only convicted on a charge of child molestation due to the victim's parents refusing to let their daughter testify. Because of his lesser conviction, he was paroled in 1974 after spending only 34 months in jail, but he would remain free but he wouldn't remain free for long. After his release, he was sent back to prison due to a violation of his parole. He wouldn't be on the streets again until 1977. Once he was free, he would claim his second victim, 23-year-old Ellen Hoover, who lived in New York. While her murder was initially treated as a missing persons, police noted something strange. She had a mark on her calendar saying that she was going to meet a man named John Berger. It wouldn't be until later they found out this was one of Rodney's aliases. Her body was discovered a year later in 1978, buried in the ground outside Westchester Phelps Memorial Hospital.